right, welcome everyone. We are live. It is round four. We are at Paul Ricard. Redo that real quick. We are live. It is Odyssey Racing League's GT round four at Paul Ricard. That's a much better way to phrase that. Should be some exciting stuff. It looks like I've been away for a couple weeks. Had some stuff to take care of. And a couple issues. We had no power last week. Looks like since I was last here, we merged the fields. Last time I was here, we raced at split of their own. We can get timing tower there. We have classes on track, so you'll see the red number plates, which are out right now, I believe. Yeah, he's setting their time right now, and then I believe about halfway through the route. Should be some exciting racing. Hard, as you can see from that track map on the right-hand side there, is basically a drag strip for paddling. Looking at actually we're on right now. Their first name is easier. Nicolaus, Mustang, and anyone else driving a Mustang to shining on this track is that the Mustang was pulled in a straight line. And I mean there is a long straight on this track. Okay. Go through the standings real quick. Watching everybody get their first laps out there. So leading rookies is going to be Michael. Man, I've got it all the way up. Yeah, I was messing around with it a lot before the race, trying to gain. I can definitely turn the game down as well. Damn, flat. Oh wait. Is it better now? That setting, I feel like when I have the Bluetooth on, it doesn't work as well. No, those levels still look really low. Hang on, let me try adding a filter. All my tests seemed alright. Okay, let's see. Okay, that should be up a little bit louder. I think the real issue is just the mic on my headset is not that great. So after this race, I'm gonna figure out a good boom mic to get. I used to have what was it, a Yeti Blue? But that thing picked up so much background noise. That is not the way to go. That should be louder though. Let me know if that worked. We do have our first couple times on the board. Nicolaus with a 154.1. Looks like P2 is going to be Fedorenko. It's almost a second behind, and then almost a second behind them in P3 is Krotov. So big gap. I'm sure those will tighten up a little bit as the session goes on. Awesome, awesome. Glad you guys are able to hear me now. And again, sorry for the quality of my mic. I don't know. It's just not that great. So yeah, like I said, we'll get a new one. But looking forward to watching some exciting racing going on now. Let's see. Yeah, who else we can hop on board with? Chat. If there's anyone you guys want me to scope out, feel free to drop them in the chat, and I'm happy to give them some screen time. We'll see. Currently on board with P2, seeing if he can improve, maybe make a run at P1 for the rookies. In the Lexus, that's going to be a bullet on this track as well. That is a straight line monster also. So he definitely potentially could do it. Looking at the timing table now, it looks like he's only about 3/10 up. Doesn't, which as you can see, he's about a second behind. So he's going to need a lot more than 3/10. And coming into some what looks like traffic as well. Um, let's see here. So Nikolaus did just improve his time a little bit. So did Fedorenko, but not by much. Who is in front of? Is that? Nope. Maybe Krotov? It is Krotov. Oh, not sure what just happened there. Did we just DC? Huh. Interesting. ACC TV bugging out on me for a second there. Sorry about that. But so, yeah, if I was Fedorenko, I would back off before I run out of time to get my laps in. I assume at the 6 minute mark is when the time is going to change. I should know this, um, but I don't. So we can shame me. As you can see, the lights on the McLaren turn on there. I wonder if that was done by them or just the auto lights turning on. I know it's a penalty if your lights don't come on when they are supposed to, but I believe last week was a night race, so this one's probably just evening or something. All right, let's look for Krotov is currently 8 tenths up on his best right now. He's a long way off from P1, but that's going to move him up quite a bit. Um, Nikolaus up in P1 is improving with every lap. He just improved by about a half second on that last one, so he's got time to gain. No one's really getting close to him. A couple people have jumped between above Fedorenko as well. And that's Krotav up to P5. You see him pulling out there, probably out of fuel. I didn't see the message for the rookies to be done with yet or done yet, but it does look like no. Looks like there's a huge train of cars leaving the pit, so I'm gonna assume they are done. Yep. So it's the 7 minute mark is when they are done. Currently on board with Luke Lazama. Let me get my. There it is. Alright, so let me switch over. So we'll start with the AMs. So the standings for this championship. We've got Alnis Kairos in P1 with 94 points, but tied with Jaakko Hankavari, who also has 94 points. And then right behind them is Andrea Martieri with 90 points. So very close top three. Robert Logan, honorable mention, sitting in P4 with 80 points. And then up to the pros. So Caleb Jones is sitting in P1 with 100 points. Not too far behind is Hunter Davis with 94 points. And Dario Villaneo rounds out the top three with 80 points. All right, back to the action. Where did my mouse go? I don't know why it always defaults to TV1. I'm not a big fan of the TV1 screen there. Everybody's light's coming on now. Curious, Luke wasn't mentioned, or I didn't pop up when I was pulling up the standings. Let's take another look at that. Luke doesn't often race in every race of the season though, so this may even be his first one. I don't even see Luke on the first page. Oh, there he is, down in P20 with 0 points. So yeah, Luke has not raced. This will be Luke's first race. So wild card thrown into that fight, as you always expect Luke to be battling up at the front. And there's our first time with the 153.1. So only 4 tenths ahead of Nicolaus. So pretty good time for a rookie there. I'd expect Luke to improve upon that time, but if you're gonna be, within half a second of the pros is pretty good, I'd say, especially as a rookie. Um, let's find someone else to hop on board with. Hunter Davis, who's currently sitting in P2 and poised for a great race today, being that he's in the Mustang, but it looks like Caleb Jones is also in the Mustang, as you can see him on the timing tower up in P2, about 2.5 seconds off Luke Lizama. Neo also right in front of Hunter Davis, so our championship leaders are all right up there. Hunter Davis is going rapid on this lap, though, so we'll stay on board and see how he finishes as he comes through the windy bits. Coming into some traffic. It looks like it's getting out of the way there, though. And here he comes down the start-finish straight, looking across the line. And he does so, improves by a second, 2 tenths off Luke's time of 152.9. Great run there from Hunter. Shows why he's in P2 right now in the championship. Caleb Jones about to cross the line right now, I believe, or maybe he just did. Currently in P3, 4 tenths off. Also in the Mustang. Same livery? Possibly. During the after qualifying, I'll make sure to update my liveries and double check I didn't do anything wrong there. But they may be some camaraderie there. May just be a coincidence, though. Got Robert's livery, though, so. Who's got quite some time before he finishes his lap. Let's go back to Caleb Jones, who's coming down that start-finish straight. He is improving on his time. He's only a 10th up at this point, though. He'll definitely have some opportunities to gain some time, but he's definitely trying to hunt down Hunter and Luke right now. Vianeo, who's in P3, looks to be able to only manage P6, but he is still out on track and is improving by almost half a second at this point, so we'll keep an eye on him. Caleb Jones finding a bit more time. It's going to be close between him and Hunter. 2 more turns to navigate. I don't think he's going to have enough to get Luke, but he might have enough to be on the front row. Here he comes. And he does move to the front row. So great drive there at the last from Caleb to get onto that front row. Make it that much harder for Hunter to close the gap. It's only 6 points between those two. Now we're watching Vianeo, currently in P3. He jumps up to P4, so he'll be on that second row. So that is, I mean, we can go over that, but your championship leaders are all on the first two rows with Luke, the newcomer, entering the mix. Dean, unable to improve. And, oh, yeah, you guys, nice, my mic still works. All right, guys, so give me just a second to make sure I've got all the liveries loaded up. But after that qualifying, I can't wait to see the race as it looks like we're going to have some excitement on track, lots of close battles. All right, guys, we are back. Let's get this grid walk underway. Starting, there we go. All right, so starting us off in P1, Luke Lizama hasn't been here all season, but get strong showing with some penalties. It looks like Caleb Jones with a 15-second penalty in P2, Hunter Davis with the 15-second penalty in P3, and Vianeo with the 15-second penalty or 10-second penalty in P4. Juan Diaz in P5 in the Porsche. Nicolaus sitting in P6 in the Mustang. He's a rookie. Michael Hutchinson P7 in the Mustang. Maurice Rizanovs P8. Victoras P9. Andreas P10. Lots of Mustangs clustered up right there. Should be some nice battling. Dean Solomon P11 in the Porsche. Hankavuri in the Mercedes P12. Antoni Glauex P13 in the BMW. Tom Lesser in the BMW in P14. Alexander Fedorenko in the Lexus P15, Bonus Charles in the Porsche P16, Johnny Marsh in the Mustang P17, Henriksen in the Porsche P18, Barry Dunn P19 in the Ferrari, Krotov sitting in P20 in that McLaren, Robert Logan P21 in the Porsche, Joyet Gupta sitting in P22 in the Ferrari, Simon Kret, P23 in the BMW. Costas Bavudas, P24 in the McLaren. 25 in the Mustang is Joran Salavekis. Michael Sokolowski in the P26 in the BMW. Andy Purcell in the Mustang in P27. Jonathan Forward in the Mustang in P28. Janice Astix, I probably slaughtered your name, I'm sorry, in P29 in the Ferrari. Owen Chang in the Porsche in P30. Paul Dickinson in P31. Alexander Mayorov in P32. Marcus, wow, this grid is huge. Marcus Craven in P33. Jaco Grisel in P34. Dacian Lozovsky in P35. Antonio Montagani in P36. Terry Dunn in P37. Alnis Kairos in P38. David Varmuza in P39 in the Ferrari. Leo Ditmanis in P40. Sorry again if I don't pronounce your name correctly, guys. Enrico Botani, P41 in the Ferrari. Simon Pruce, P42 in the McLaren. Artem Malishko in P43. Stefano Montagani in P44. And Subham Chowdhury in P45. And it looks like, well, Luke Lezama is in the pits. Lots of penalties given out already. Maybe some impeding, overtaking during qualifying, perhaps. Interesting. Definitely makes one wonder. That Mustang sounds like it's electric from that angle. As we take to the skies and watch them crawl down this straight. Tire management on the any opening lap is huge. Always very difficult to get right on this one. I'm sure most of the drivers will be dragging their brakes. That's really the best thing you can do when you come down this straight. You can't go fast enough to generate really any heat into the tires. Yeah, having such a long straight there really makes it difficult to warm your tires up. We'll just jump further back. So, Caleb Jones and Hunter Davis, the top three currently are as they are in the championship. Caleb Jones and Hunter Davis both have 15-second penalties. Vianeo with a 10-second penalty, all for something during qualifying. And Luke Lezama appears to still be in the pits. Maybe he didn't get started in time. I don't know. He'll definitely make for some exciting action, some exciting overtakes as he works his way through the grid. And with these top front runners, all with major penalties, he may be able to work his way back up. As they come down the start-finish straight, look at all those headlights showing. It's weird, you can't see the headlights on the Mustang, but you can see the light from the headlights. The green flag is waving. We are racing, and we've got an overtake for P2 in the race by Juan Diaz in the Porsche. And somebody clip that, guys. What a move. Off the get-go, Juan Diaz. Give it up for him. We're going to jump further back the grid. Oh, we got some cars running wide. I don't see anybody facing the wrong way. Lots of... Oh, commentator's curse. Oh, they may swallow some more cars. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Okay. This is turning into a bit of a... Maybe this might be why Luke went with the start from pits. Lots of contact. Only a couple... I don't think quite enough were spun around. As we jump further back, I wish I could just make the camera. Oh, big collision right there. Wow, it seems anyone I click on. Where was that battle I was just watching? We'll stick here for a second as we watch these. Oh man, we've got 3 wide in front of this group of 4. This is gonna be interesting to say the least coming into here at the end of the high speed. Everyone keeps it nice and tidy. So seeming to find our groove. Let's check up with our leaders. Caleb Jones are comfortably out in front. Juan Diaz maybe falling back. Hunter Davis able to get back up to P3. I believe he fell back to P4 at one point in time. Now Juan Diaz, remember, the only one of these top 4 cars without a penalty. So as long as Juan Diaz can avoid incident, he's going to be in a pretty position, sitting pretty comfortably as well. Yeah, there are lots of accidents. Far too many for me to. But while things are still kind of crazy, here's what we'll do. We'll keep it in heli view and kind of. We'll find where things are still trying to settle in, if at all, as we're now done with the first lap. I think everybody's one way or another kind of gotten their elbows out and made room for themselves. As I clicked away at the wrong time, it looked like we might have had a collision right there. Nope, those cars seem to be okay. Here's a tight little battle. So this is Marcus Craven in the Ferrari. Beside him is Botani coming up the inside, looking to take that position. Sees the opportunity, and I believe he does. Craven not going to let that go lightly, but he's got almost no defense as the Porsche of what must be Malishko comes roaring past. Lots of action here at the back. We want to take it a couple up further. Botani is really rocketing down that straight. That Mustang was quite a ways away of Johnny Marsh when they started that. And you can see everyone going a little wide there. Let me pull out my track map. Let's check up with our leaders. Hunter Davis has taken P2. Interesting. So we'll see if these Mustangs have enough in it to build a gap. Let's see. We've got an hour-long race, so they've got plenty of time to do so if they can. They're going to want to build up a 15-second gap to Diaz. Otherwise, it's pretty much a slam dunk overtake when they pit, barring traffic or an accident. Oh yeah, this is how I do it. Oop, there we go. Jumping further back to the next sort of train we have. Michael Hutchinson leads the way, followed by Nicolaus, who is going to be leading not only the rookies, but actually all of the AM drivers as well as a rookie. So Nicolaus having a very strong showing. I believe he started in P6. Let me double check that. Yes, he did. Currently, some of our biggest mover, let's see. Ah, man, I should have memorized all those awesome terms Koju had. But our biggest mover currently is Terry Dunn, who's moved up 14 spots. He started in P38. And then our biggest loser is going to be Henriksen, who is in the pits, down 26 spots. So that might not be, that's not in the pits. Janice Astix. Got some action here on track, though, as it looks like Nicolaus is caught up to the back of Hutchinson, at least momentarily there. As they come down this start-finish straight, though, the gap kind of winds itself out. And this is the 4 Mustangs in a pack here, so they'll be. It's gonna really take a mistake from someone or something magical from the car behind for anything to change between those guys. Our next train is led by Dean Solomon. See if we can go to Helicam, maybe get a better shot. Nope, not gonna help so much. Maybe if I go to, here we go. So you can see quite a few big train of cars there. That's going to go all the way back to P14, I believe, Hankavuri. And at this stage of the race, unless something's really offered up, no one's going to be really able to... Oh, but there's a car facing the wrong way. And we have Nicolaus side by side with Hutchinson. Maybe a little bit of contact, I think I saw there. Both drivers able to keep it on the track during the high speed there, and Hutchinson stays ahead. Nicolaus, though, it hits him with his flashers, saying he should get the position back. Did Nicolaus have one side of white wall tires, or is that just the way the lights were reflecting? That must have just been the one way the light. Yep, that's all it is. Your timing table should update in a second, but Hutchinson is actually in front of Nicolaus. Checking up with our leaders, Caleb Jones comfortably in the lead, Hunter Davis closely behind him, and Juan Diaz is keeping them in sight. Villaneo also right there, but the gap from Diaz to Davis is almost 2 seconds, so they are pulling ahead. Diaz has some work to do in this stint if he wants to walk away with a win here. All right. Checking up with these guys real quick. Hutchinson not giving the position back. There was, I believe, a brief amount of contact. My opinion says that'll be deemed a racing incident, nothing major. And then further back from here, so we have Marsonis, who has kind of broken away from the pack that was being led by Solomon, I believe, or did he fall off? Nope, he broke away from the pack that was being led by Solomon. So you've got Solomon being followed closely, and that car is still... Someone get that car out of there. Where are the stewards? Let me, hang on, guys. I'll be right back. I mean, maybe he's just stuck in a situation where cars just keep coming by. So he can't safely turn around. At this point, he's got to be... Here he is. Let's see if he turns around now. He's got time. And he's not. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. Let me just let the authorities know.
Hmm? Yeah, he's gone. Apparently, it wasn't me, though. Yeah, fair enough.
All right, crisis averted. And crisis on track. We see in the background there, it looks like a collision between Bonus Charles, but we've got Lexus on Porsche down the straight. That Lexus is going to leave him in the dust. Fedorenko been lining this move up. I'm sure he knew it would come, too. And off into the horizon he's going to run. Dean doing everything he can, trying to tuck into that slipstream, stay close. Now the Lexus doesn't like to turn, so the rest of the lap, Dean can try and close that gap back down, but it's going to be real hard to get around that Lexus. All right. Let me pull up the big track map so I can see things closer. Oop. Our herd of Mustangs is still very tight, but no movement. And then further back, we can just move pretty much anywhere down this. It's pretty much a line of cars from P10, it looks like, to P24. Here's Purcell, followed closely by Dunn. Coming down this high-speed straight, but not enough, close enough to make anything happen there. And then moving further back, we have another. Wow, that livery Mustang is very popular. Another Mustang leading another train of cars. Bonus Charles putting them under pressure, though. Let's stay on board here. I think he's thinking about a move, and he's in a sandwich of those Mustangs. Really popular livery. Bonus sticking his nose into the inside. Oh, he's got it done. Oh, but can't get the move done, and he's got a Mustang coming at him from the inside. Not sure how Bonus didn't manage to get the move done there. That's unfortunate. Let's see if he's able to keep this Mustang behind at bay. As you can see, the Mustang thinking about it now, pulling out of the slipstream, but not able to make any more inroads once he does so. So those three will remain as they were. Bavudas under pressure from Purcell behind him. That camera angle didn't do it justice, as it looks like Bavudas was all on his lonesome there, and then Purcell just flew into the shot. And Purcell's under pressure from Terry Dunn as well, so these three probably gonna result in a racing story, you might say. As each driver trying to find the space and really trying to find a way around, and we've got a car off the track, or it's facing the wrong way. It's Owen Chang. He's able to get things turned around back to who we were watching. I like this angle through here. That's a nice one. And you can see Purcell really under pressure from Kyrus behind him. Now, as Bavudas gets a great line through that through sector 1, able to allow him to kind of make up for the handicap that the McLaren has down this straight. I'm sure that McLaren's running a ton of BOP right now. So you can see that Mustang just eat that gap up till he's almost on the bumper by the time he gets to the back of it. But Kyra's doing a great job staying that slipstream and getting dragged along with Purcell. Great racing. I mean, this is all the way back in for P20 between these two. And Kyra's doing a great job of just positioning the car where Purcell can't sling it around there. I mean, Purcell's positioning the car where Kyrus can't sling it up the inside or around the outside. And then I'm sure, as most of you guys know, that Mustang is wide. It may be coming into here, but I doubt, very doubtful. So let's get an update. Caleb Jones out front, um, bringing Hunter Davis along with him, just half a second behind him. Juan Diaz has stopped the bleeding, however, and the gap is only 2 seconds. If you can keep it here, that'll be great work on his part, and really bring him into contention to win this race. Especially if he can keep up this. He's going to have to remember, these guys are going to be quick once they serve that penalty too. So Diaz isn't out of in the clear just after they pit. He's going to have to still put up some lap times to keep them behind. There's Diaz on screen now, being followed closely by Vianeo. Got a battle for P15 right now. Look who it is. It's these three. Purcell has caught up to Bavudas coming down that straight. I know that McLaren gets handicapped so hard. It sucks, especially down a long straight. Little bit of contact there. Nothing in it, really, I think. But what is this? Terry Dunn making a move when the opportunity presented itself, and he's now moved ahead of Kyrus. These four now bumper to bumper, bow to stern, human centipede, however you want to describe it. And this is always stressful as a driver because, you never want to hit the car in front of you. But you're also, especially if you spend too much time looking in your mirror, the pit window is now open, is why I said that, but looking in your mirror, you might get a little distracted, end up hitting that car in front, or inversely, if you don't, you might get hit from behind, as these four really tighten up here. And Purcell sends it and gets the move done. Some defensive driving from everyone as they try to line up the drag. Kyrus has gotten back around Terry Dunn now, looking to get Bavudas as well down this start-finish straight, and he does. Bavudas with a terrible exit there. And now we've got a battle between Terry Dunn and Kyrus as that BMW charges ahead. And they're only halfway, just over halfway down this straight, so Terry Dunn's going to get the move done. In a series of a couple corners, Bavudas had been leading this group for many laps, is now at the back of it. We're going to stay right here, keep an eye on Kyrus, see if he can find a way around, or if Bavudas can take advantage of the opportunity. Oh, and a little bit of contact there. Stewards are going to have to decide that one. I won't be able to tell you. If it was up to me, I'd say that's a racing incident. Maybe, if anything, I guess Kyrus turned into Bavudas. But so that is going to end that excitement for us there, guys. But great driving from those racers. Thank you for that showing. Let's check up with the front train, P5. So Nicolaus was able to get around Hutchinson eventually. And we do have a couple cars coming to the pits early, so that'll be, spicing things up a little bit. Maybe not so much, not as, kind of like Monaco. The second pit stop didn't spice things up too much, I don't think. They just added for more suspense, I'd say. But I don't think really anybody was able to make it work to their advantage. And then further back. Oh, no, this is right where we were. So that was for P17. All of that hard racing. As we see Bavudas making his way around what must be a back marker. check up with our leaders. Caleb Jones and Hunter Davis comfortably in 1 and 2. Juan Diaz, though, keeping them within range. And Villaneo doing a good job keeping him within range, but Villaneo will fall off. Now, however, technically Villaneo is still within the 5-second difference in the penalties between that he and the leaders have. So assuming they enter and exit the pits, everything else is the same. Villaneo will still come out in front of them as well. And I think that's honestly best case scenario for Diaz as just a little bit more cushion between him and these strong contenders, especially on this drag strip. Nicolaus is able to kind of stretch his legs away from that train of cars we saw, the group of Mustangs. Still a group of 4 Mustangs. They're getting a little bit more spread out. You got Hutchinson and Victoras, followed by Rizanovs and Marasonis. Some tight racing here, however. And this is for position between these 3 cars. Between Krotov and Jorens. And Krotov looking like he's going to get the move done on the Ferrari. And there it is. Shuts the door on Jorens. I was wondering if he might try to come back up the inside, but that high-speed one's tough to do that on. Oh, but curse of the commentator. Krotov loses it. He is able to catch it. He's gonna cut the corner as much as he can since he's already off the track. Certain I'll probably get a warning for that, but at least now he's still right there. And now Gupta was the one that was with Jorens is in the Mustang up there. Gupta looking to make a move on the Mustang. Coming to the tricky braking zone. He is right on the bumper of the Mustang in front of him. Mustang of Jorens. Unable, it looks like, to get anything done. And now Krotov thinks about maybe snagging a move here. Little bit of contact there, a little bit more contact there. That Stewart's gonna be left to that one. That's a tough one. I don't know. I think Krotov was in the clear. Let me know what you think, chat. I don't know. I don't think I'd penalize either racer. I think that's just a racing incident. But some exciting racing for P14 as we come to near the halfway point of the race. Further back, so Bavudas maybe struggling a little bit now this stint, as Bonus Charles and Hankavuri have caught up to him. Terry Dunn did pick up a 5-second penalty. But you can see them close the gap to that McLaren, and also the Mercedes, Hankavuri closing the gap to Bonus Charles there. Everybody tries to get on the throttle as quickly as possible through that corner, and then it's quick on the brakes. Make sure you don't spin out or overshoot this one. Long, tough right-hander. Really just trying to find the grip, get on the throttle as soon as you can for this next braking zone. Going to be basically the same kind of deal, but in the opposite direction. A little tougher because of that curb and the camber of the corner. Then building up the speed for yet another long left-hander into a hard hairpin right. Bonus decides to pull into the pits. And it looks like Jonathan Forward will as well. Our leaders have pit, it looks like. No, we're just having some timing issues. Gap now to 3 seconds. Vianeo coming close to that 5-second zone. Let's see. Still not halfway yet. Oh, it's tough. It's tough. But I think given the circumstances, if I was Vianeo, I'd pit right now. Get the new tires. It looks like he'd come out in some clean air, I think, as well. And try to build that gap. Hope that the leaders come out and have traffic. I'm assuming they're going to try and go long. All right, let's find another exciting battle. This is okay. So these guys have just come out of the pit. So this is Kyrus and Marsh. Um, or not, maybe not just come out, but they have already done their pit. Kyrus did have that impact with the wall there. It looks like he decided to repair the damage though. Probably good. It looked like he hit that wall pretty hard, head on. Further up the grid though, we have some no, this is all gonna be just Hutchinson navigating back markers. But here we have 13 and 14, so Purcell and Terry Dunn. This has been a battle that's been ongoing for quite a while now. Terry Dunn does have a 5-second penalty. All right, and we kind of got to the quiet stages of the race, but we do have an update. So, maybe they heard me talking, but Diaz and Vianeo are into the pits. We're going to keep an eye, actually, on these two. Is there a pit lane? I'm pretty sure there's a pit lane. Camera. I thought there was. I swear there was. Oh, there it is. It's kind of lame, though. So we'll keep an eye on these two, though, as this will be big. This is big for the race. Not sure why they're flashing their lights as they come through the pits. Looks like the Lexus. They were having a pretty good race as well. Okay, so both of them off at pretty much the exact same time. Diaz has a big benefit, though, of having the pit box at the end of the lane there. So he's going to be able to get on the throttle a good bit sooner, and it looks like he's going to come out having gained quite a bit here as he's almost taken out.
We are halfway through, not over yet.
So that is Juan Diaz down to P9. Jump up with the leaders. Let's see if they respond or not. They're actually getting ready to come through the pit lane, come by the pit lane right now. It does not look like they will be. No, they will not. They're going to extend. I think I would. Oh. A little bit of issues there, but everything all good. Internet problems. I don't think I saw you kill anyone. Let me see. I don't have any recent incidents with you either. got some yellow flags. Oh, you were probably stuck on the track. Were you? I bet that was you. Yeah, no, I don't think so. You got stuck on you were stuck facing the wrong way, but it was down the straight, in the middle of the straight, so everybody was able to easily avoid you. Alright, so we want to find Diaz. There he is. P7. And that's just cars coming into the pits at just the perfect time for him as well. Getting out of the way, so he's got clean air, room to run. It's looking good for him. I want to stay on board here and see what kind of lap time he's putting up now. Doesn't look like there's really any major battles on track at this point either. Oh, you were driving a Ford. I did not. I didn't see anything with you. Yeah, but yeah, that was the Ferrari was stuck on the track. Yeah, okay, so that wasn't you. I don't have any accidents involving year 91, so some yellow flags, but no accidents. Coming into a bit of traffic now. I believe that's Babudas. It is. Who has yet to pit. If Diaz is lucky, Babudas peels into the pits right now. But he does not. Diaz turning his lights on. Smart move. Babudas running without lights. That's a penable offense? Is penable a word? I don't know. Punishable offense. Juan Diaz's last lap was a 54.5, so not fantastic, but not terrible. Fastest lap of the race is a 54.3. Set by Hunter Davis, who is out, or is actually into the pits. I believe Caleb Jones is also in the pits, or did he just disappear? No. Caleb Jones has already pit. So Caleb Jones is pit, and Juan Diaz is a couple cars in front. So that's big. So now it's a race to the end. Actually, guys, let me dip out real quick. Let me just see what the penalties were given for.
I assume they were success penalties.
Silly me, they were success penalties given out to Davis, Jones, and Vianeo. So, That is what they were for. New mechanic introduced this season. Um, Clearly makes for some more exciting races, as now they'll have to battle their way up through the field. And so the two cars in front of them, it did work out to Diaz's favor, as let me pull up my timing table here. Vianeo is in front of Caleb Jones and Davis, though not, albeit not by much, but Vianeo will put up a fight, as he's sitting in P3 in the championship. So I would not want to yield, bend, bend over, just sit behind, roll over. There we go, and let them by. Where does Juan Diaz fall in the championship? He's currently in 12th place with 40 points. He didn't race week 2 and did not finish week 3. So he will have a drop round, but he's still going to have a week without points. So that's going to really hurt him. But a win will feel great regardless. This is the real quiet point in the race where until everybody, which it looks like they mostly have finished their pits. Just kind of waiting for everything, all the different strategies to converge at the end here. It does look like we've got some not on track racing actually. This is just Glauex trying to weave his way through some back markers. So we've got, excuse me, yellow flag from that Mustang going down the straight there. That's Hutchinson, so not sure what happened there. That's unfortunate. He lost a couple positions because of that. Just got a yellow flag on this Ferrari as well. Wonder if something's happening in that part of the track. But here's P1. He's got 10 seconds, 10 and a half to P2 right now. And right behind P2 are the championship leaders, Caleb Jones and Hunter Davis. And P2 is, of course, Vianeo, who sits in P3 in the championship. So, yeah. Should be an exciting climax to the race when we get to it. Such a funny word. And we are currently on board with Vianeo, who's... The gap was closing up, but he's doing a good job of keeping Caleb and Hunter behind him. Nah, they're not within real striking distance yet, unless he makes a mistake. We do have a battle now on track, though. This is Purcell and Charles fighting for 15th place. Let's see who gets the better exit as we come down the drag, get ready to come down the drag strip. Yeah, this is the one. Helicam looks really cool for them. Bone is closing the gap. Runs it a little wide there, though. And that is going to cost him for sure. Even if he did get a better exit, that Mustang is going to pull. As you can see, Bonus now drifts off the screen. And let's see if we can find him. Now Bonus is right back now that they've come into the braking zone. Bonus able to get up close enough to take a sniff, but nothing more than that. Can't even get a sample. He's close now, though. We'll stay on board here, see if he can make something happen through Sector 1. Bonus a little closer, not dropping off like he was last time. But that Mustang is going to pull again, and Bonus is not close enough to get slipstream support still. So let's jump on board here. Gap coming down. It's now less than a second between Jones and Villeneuve. Just over 16 minutes left in the race. Could go for a nap. Not because this is boring, I'm just tired. Those Mustangs really closing the gap there. Moving as a unit as well. And Villeneuve needs a good exit. He had to slow up a little bit through that. Didn't quite nail it down. I don't know. That Mustang might be close enough. Villeneuve's going to try to hold the inside line, but I think that Mustang got him early enough to where he's going to be able to shut the door on him as Villeneuve drifts out wide now. With a valiant defense, he hangs on to P3 in the race. Man, Chad, is that not the same if you're watching this? That is the same type of battle we had at Spa a while back. Chad was also in the Mustang. I was in the McLaren. And same thing like that. He'd almost gobbled me up down the straight. And I have to just outbrake him on the inside. Villeneuve drifting a little wide. The Mustang really all over the back now. Trying to poke up the inside. Villeneuve's going to have to do a real good job of playing defense now. Why am I still in helicam view? Apologies. Ferrari, yes, the Ferrari does have a good top speed. It's definitely no slouch. It's not the Mustang, but it's no slouch either. Here we are through Sector 1. You can see how they're taking slightly different lines. Now this back marker up front might actually be just what Villeneuve needs. If he can get all up on, he's close enough to get at least some slipstream effect here, which is going to help him stay ahead of that Mustang coming down the straight. It's going to gobble him up. but unfortunately that uh, the back marker allows for the Mustang to break, both Mustangs to break by. Vinio is going to run him wide. Use the Ferrari's better aero package to hang on through that corner. And here we go. Oh, a little bit of contact. Vianeo saves it. Hunter Davis moves up to P3 now. Gotta think that's going to result in a penalty for Jones. And there's also now the back marker between them. Unfortunate. And that's actually P2, not P3 that Jones moves up to. I'm sorry. Unfortunate for Vianeo to have that P2 kind of taken away because a teammate, we're going to call him, ran into him. And the other teammate swooped the position. That being said, I highly, highly doubt that was intentional or planned. And Juan Diaz has the fastest lap of this stint so far with the 53.6. Hunter Davis's best is a 53.9. But Hunter Davis now has clean air. He's got 12 minutes left in the race, and the gap is up to 13 seconds. So it's going to take a mighty drive from Hunter to chase down Diaz. Calum has caught back up to Vianeo. So Vianeo's work is not done yet if he wants to finish on this podium. They are coming through Sector 1, getting ready to, I'm sorry, this is Sector 3. Long right-hander into another left-hander. Into the hairpin. Calum Jones right on him. Down the start-finish straight. Expect the Mustang to inch closer as they go down this straight. And great work there. Great exit there from Vianeo. Through that first bit. Builds up a nice gap. Just going to want to keep doing so as they come through the end of Sector 1 here. Start the drag strip that is Sector 2. And Vianeo has a pretty big gap right now. And Calum Jones did receive a 5-second penalty for that contact. So Vianeo's job got much easier, as now, even if he does lose the position, as long as he can stay with him, and it certainly looks like he'll have that ability, has the pace, he'll gain the position back anyway. So Vianeo may have locked up a podium already. Up front, keep an eye on that difference between Hunter Davis and Juan Diaz. It's down to 12 seconds now. It was 13 a moment ago. He's, got to do a little bit more than a second every minute to get it done. So I don't know if he'll have enough time, but a mistake from Diaz could bring him right into contention. And speaking of Diaz, comfortably out in front, also with the fastest lap of the race so far. All he has to do now, oh, excuse me, is, well, A, not fall asleep behind the wheel, but not make any mistakes, avoid collisions with back marker. Little bit of a squirrely situation there might have cost him a tenth or two. All right, and let's see if we've got anything elsewhere on track battle-wise. We do. 13, 14, and 15 all battling it out. That's bonus Charles. That's, I gotta get to my Gupta. Doesn't seem right either. And that's Krotov in the McLaren. No, that's Purcell, bonus Charles, and Krotov. There we go. That's right. Krotov in the McLaren, Purcell in the Mustang, and Charles in the Porsche. As Purcell sticks his nose in, and I think he gets far ahead enough around to sling it around the outside there. Unfortunate. You should not have given that to him, Krotov. Krotov with a little bit of a poor defense, but that is an AM on a pro. You can expect that to happen. Bonus Charles going to be trying to line him up as well as we weasel our way through Sector 1. Getting ready to start our way down the drag strip. And bonus itching closer. I don't know if it's going to be close enough to get make him think about a move. But he pulls off to send it up the inside. He's going to beat him to the apex. And he gets it done. Excellent move from Bonus. That is a veteran, you can tell. Hunter Davis has brought it down to 10 seconds. 6.5 minutes to go, though. Yellow flag on my screen from position 2. I don't know why. That's Hunter Davis right here. Here's our leader coming into some traffic. And there it is. Here's the start finish straight. Good time to get by. But I think, let's see. No, those two in front are not even battling for position. However, the gap has increased now to 11 seconds. It was 9 just moments ago. So something may have gone awry with Hunter. Maybe he just ran into some traffic. But the traffic Diaz seems to have run into doesn't seem to be costing him. And those two back markers are really battling it out in front of Davis, or Diaz rather. That would start to get me a little bit nervous, as you know, a collision from the two of them may take him out. It looks like they might be getting out of his way now, or at least one of them does. Diaz chops across, says, hey, stay back there. Get out of my way. So Kyrus and Bavudas, who, if you remember, were in the midst of a pretty big fight earlier in the race before Kyrus, unfortunately, ended up in the wall, have found each other on track once again. Bavudas got up to was up in fairly up the grid at the beginning of the race, but has slowly slid down through as things have transpired. And it certainly looks like Kyrus is in the driver's seat right now. And move done for Kyrus. I think Bavudas not giving it up just yet. Now move done for Kyrus. And we have just over 2 minutes left in the race. Check up with our leader. See what the gap's down to. It's 9 seconds. So it looks like Diaz has this one in the bag. And no one else really in a position to make a last-minute Hail Mary. This would be for P27 between these two, Dickinson and Chang.
Okay, the leader is on the final lap now. Give it all you can.
All right, you heard it, guys. The leader is on the final lap. But we've got some action towards the back of the grid for P27. Chang making a move, pulls out of the slipstream, trying to steal the position from Dickinson, but Dickinson, with that straight line speed, just able to not allow Chang to get alongside. All right. And a collision. Chang seems to have taken out Dickinson at the very end of the race. And here we have Juan Diaz, who started P4 on the grid, navigating the final corners, preparing to cross the line to claim victory of round 4 here at Paul Ricard. Having to navigate a little bit of traffic as he does so to get across the line, but there it is. What a wonderful drive
Finish the race.
from Juan Diaz. Hunter Davis just gets on the start-finish straight. He will finish P2 and should move him up the leaderboard, I believe. Caleb Jones finishes P3. Villaneo finishes P4 after that unfortunate collision. P5 as a overall, but P1 as a rookie for Nikolaus. P6 for Marsonis. Now we've got Victoras getting ready to cross the line in P7. Fedorenko crosses the line in P8 in the Lexus, so that's pretty impressive. Dean Solomon in P9. And Michael Hutchinson has a 15-second penalty but crosses in P10. Tom Lesser's going to be able to come within that 15 seconds and should jump up the board there. Gupta sitting in P12 as they navigate the final few corners of the track. Andy Purcell not far off, sitting in P13. I believe some of the drivers have already left. That's why it's saying that on your tower there. Bonus Charles crosses in P50. Wow. 11. Oh my gosh. And there goes most of the cars crossing the line right now. Bringing it up, Jonathan forward. All right, guys. So that was some exciting action. Good to be back. Thank you for joining me. Big shout out to the stewards, of course, for making everything happen. There were a couple collisions there at the end, so they might still be reviewing some things. Um, Big shout out to the racers for obviously giving us all the excitement to watch, and of course, a big shout out to you guys keeping me company. Um, yeah, if you're watching this back later or live, if you want to join, links should be in the description below. Check out our Discord or SimGrib page for information on how to join. Lots of different options available for everybody of all skill levels and time zones. And then, hey, if you're looking to show some love, show some support, check out our Patreon. Lots of different tiers of membership on there. Fits lots of different price pans, and you get lots of different perks with the various tiers. I'm Nate, Start from Pitch Schreiber. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll catch you guys next week.